Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Uy, Fer, bakit mukha kang malungkot? Ano yung hawak mo?
Eto ba? Sa hypox ko sa math, nahihirapan kasi ako sa modified assessment namin ngayong linggong ito. Tungkol kasi ito kung paano mag-approximate ng square root ng isang number.
Ayan ba? Huwag kang mag-alala. Madali lang yan.
Oo nga, Fer. Huwag ka nang malungkot dahil may kakilala kami ni Nan na makakatulong sa problema mo.
Panoorin natin si Sir Jayvee dahil ibabahagi niya sa atin kung paano kumuha ng approximated value ng isang number na non-perfect square at kung paano din ito igagraph sa isang number line sa Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Tara!
Let's watch and learn!
Happy morning, Fernandino Teens! Welcome to another episode of Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. I hope you are safe and doing well together with your family. I am Sir Jayvee Morales, your math teacher for today. I know that you will enjoy our topic. I know that most of you, including me, deal with various kinds of numbers every day. Classifying these numbers is helpful in the study of mathematics as it allows us to identify exactly what numbers we are dealing with. It is the same in real life. Numbers also have family or group. Let us explore numbers in the real world. For our lesson for today, the objectives are: first, determine between what two integers the square root of a number is. Second, estimate the square root of a whole number. And lastly, plot irrational numbers on a number line. Sit back and relax. Before we begin our journey in dealing with real numbers, let me ask you some questions. You may write your answer on the comment box if you are watching via YouTube. If not, then you may use a paper and a ball pen. First question. What is the average age of grade 7 student? If your answer is 12 or 13, then you have gotten it right. Second question. If you cut a pizza into 8 equal parts, what do you call each part? If your answer is 1/8, then you give yourself 3 claps. Third question. What is the body temperature of the lady shown on the screen? Very good! 36.5 degrees Celsius is correct. Let us have another example of numbers. Do you know that certain brands of a COVID-19 vaccine require negative storage temperature? Great! There are some COVID-19 vaccines that require negative storage temperature which ranges from -112 to -20 degrees Fahrenheit. What about this symbol? Are you familiar with this? What is its value? Amazing! The value of pi is 3.1416. In 2000 BC, humans noticed that the ratio of circumference to diameter was the same for all circles. The symbol pi, however, was only introduced in 1706 by William Jones. For many purposes, the value of pi is given as 3.1416 up to 20 decimal places as shown on your screen. All your answers, 12 or 13, 1/8, 36.5, -112 to -20, and 3.1416 and so on, or pi, are examples of real numbers. At this point, let us have a guessing game. Can you identify the type of numbers in the previous activity? First, let us have 12 or 13. Very good, Fernandino teens. You can consider 12 or 13 as a whole number, or it can also be a counting number. Let us have the second number. We have 1/8. What is your guess? You are right. The answer is a fraction. What about this number? 36.5. Correct! 36.5 is a decimal. How about this range of numbers? -112 to -20. Nice! This is a perfect example of a negative integer. And lastly, what type of number is the value of pi? Amazing! 3.1416 and so on is considered as non-repeating, non-terminating decimal. Now, let us place all these numbers in a diagram. The set of counting numbers presented, which are located below the diagram, including 0, will make them the set of whole numbers. As you can see, 12 and 13 are included in this set of numbers. The next set of numbers in the diagram is the set of integers. Observe that -112 and -20 are part of the negative integers. Combining the set of integers and fractions, terminating and repeating decimals will form the set of rational numbers. 12, 13, negative 112, negative 20, 1 over 8, and 36.5 are part of the set of rational numbers. Combining the set of rational numbers and irrational numbers will form the set of real numbers. To conclude, 12, 13, negative 112, negative 20, 1 over 8, 36.5, and 3.1416, and so on, are part of the set of real numbers. This diagram is called real number system. When we return, we will have a short activity about the difference between rational and irrational numbers. Stay tuned for Nandino Teens!
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. A while ago, you have learned about the real number system. Now, do we agree that it is very important that we know how to identify group of numbers? Yes, you are right. You may use the comment box below to answer the following questions if you are watching via YouTube. Click thumbs up emoji if the given number is a rational number, and thumbs down emoji if it is an irrational number. Are you ready? Let's have item number 1. 2 over 5. If your answer is thumbs up, then you are certainly correct. Next number. The given is 7 over 11. Great! The answer is thumbs up. It is a rational number. Third, negative 5. If your answer is thumbs up, then you got it right. For item number 4, 0.25. Excellent! It is a thumbs up. Lastly, square root of 6. Amazing! It is thumbs down. What made you say that square root of 6 is an irrational number? Many of you may think that 6 has no square root, but actually it has. In arithmetic, 6 is not a perfect square. Considering the real number system that I presented in the previous discussion, the square root of 6 is included in the set of irrational number. Consider the following set of numbers. We have 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. Do you have an idea what these numbers are? Perfect. You are right. These are perfect squares. Always remember that the square of a number is called a perfect square. Let us have an illustrative example. The number 9 is a perfect square. In mathematical statement, we say 9 is equal to 3 times 3 or 3 squared. In contrast, the number 7 is not a perfect square. What do you think is the reason? Notice that there is no whole number that can be squared or multiplied by itself to get 7. Using the principle with the square root of 6, the square root of 7 is also part of the set of irrational number. I know you are already familiar with this symbol. Let us explore more about these. Are you ready? The radical sign is used to indicate the square root of a number. The combination of a radical sign with an indicated number under the symbol is called radical. The number under the radical sign is known as the radicand. If the radicand is negative, then the square root is not part of the set of real numbers. Let us have an illustrative example. We have the square root of negative 9. This has no meaning in the set of real numbers. Try to think of a number when multiplied by itself, we will get negative 9. You are right. The number does not exist. This type of number is called an imaginary number. Consider this table. It shows us the list of the first 20 perfect square numbers. From the list, let us have the number 16 as an example. Let us interpret it as a power with a corresponding meaning and a verbal description. The given expression could be interpreted as 4 to the second power or 4 squared. In mathematical statement, we say 4 squared is equal to 16. Conversely, the square root of 16 is equal to 4. Notice that 16 is the radicand and 4 is the principal root. Remember, to get the principal root of a number, you just have to think of a number multiplied by itself to obtain the value of the radicand. Here is the proper way of finding the principal root of a number. Simply find a whole number that can be multiplied by itself to get the radicand, as 4 squared is equal to 4 times 4, which results to 16. Therefore, the square root of 16 is equal to 4. Let us have a game in finding the principal root of the perfect squares. Are you ready? You simply write your answers on the comment box below. Let us have item number 1. The square root of 121. If you get 11 as the principal root of 121, then you are right. Let us now proceed to item number 2. What is the square root of 49 over 121? This is quite different radical. Very good, Fernandino teens. Since the radicand is a fraction, the principal root takes the same form, which is 7/11. Do we have the same answer? Nice! Now, let us have the last item. The square root of 0. Amazing! The square root of 0 is also equal to 0. Did you get them all? Now, you have perfectly mastered the skill in finding the square root of perfect squares. Let us consider the square root of the following numbers. We have 12 and 300. What do you notice? How do we get the principal root of each number? Observe the given radicands 12 and 300 respectively. Both are not perfect squares. At this point, let us discuss some techniques on how to estimate the principal root of non-perfect squares that are considered irrational numbers. Let us begin by finding two consecutive perfect squares where the non-perfect square numbers lie. From the first 20 perfect square numbers, let us find out between which numbers the square root of 12 lies. Notice that 12 lies between 9 and 16. Thus, 12 is greater than 9 but less than 16. Consequently, the square root of 12 is greater than the square root of 9 but less than the square root of 16. Evaluating, the square root of 12 is greater than 3 but less than 4. Thus, the principal square root of 12 lies between 3 and 4. This time, using the same procedure, we try to find between which numbers the square root of 300 lies. Consider the square root of 300. Based on the list of first 20 perfect squares, 300 lies between the perfect squares 289 and 324 respectively. Thus, 300 is greater than 289 but less than 324. Consequently, the square root of 300 is greater than the square root of 289 but less than the square root of 324. Evaluating, the square root of 300 is greater than 17 but less than 18. Therefore, the principal square root of 300 lies between 17 and 18. It is easy, right? Now, you have learned how to find the principal root of perfect squares and how to estimate the principal root of non-perfect square numbers between two consecutive principal roots of perfect square respectively. I will be showing you how to plot the estimated principal root of a non-perfect square on the number line when Fernandino Teens TV returns. Stay tuned!
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin R. Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyantaya ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng siyudad, apin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kaya katamong siyudad, yung pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon, kay ni syudad, kalupa ng pamangawang parol, ang poing pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamiyalang sticker ka rin ganaganang apuntulan mong lugar. At timang may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mingeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa ngayon agkatan ko ding bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras, di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumunang 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, may di na lang premium only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo baka ta makapag-register, punta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, yung munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back, Fernandino Teens. A while ago, you learned how to find the principal root of a perfect square and how to estimate the principal root of a non-perfect square between two consecutive numbers. This time, I will show you on how to plot the estimated principal root of a non-perfect square on the number line. Are you ready, Fernandino Teens? Let's start! From our previous example, the estimated principal roots of 12 is between 3 and 4. At this point, we can now plot the square root of 12 on a number line. Consider the number line consisting of 1 to 10. To plot the square root of 12 on a number line, simply put or locate a dot between 3 and 4 and label it as the square root of 12. It is easy, isn't it? Let us have the second example. Plot the square root of 300 on a number line. We must have the two consecutive numbers where the square root of 300 lies. Do you still remember them? Amazing! You have a sharp memory. The square root of 300 lies between 17 and 18. Consider the number line starting from 1 to 20. Where should we place or locate the dot? Correct! It is between 17 and 18. Remember, in real life, we apply estimation and approximation. Like when you go to a market, you must consider the estimated cost of the items you put in your cart. Another example, when you are planning to build a house, you always ask for the estimated cost of the materials. In math, we apply estimating and approximating value if and only if the number does not have an exact equivalent. For instance, in radical, when the radicand is not a perfect square, its principal root is non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Do you still remember what type of numbers are non-repeating, non-terminating decimal? Awesome! You have a sharp memory. They are irrational numbers. Let us approximate the principal root of the square root of 8 to the nearest hundredths. Let me show you the procedures. Let us start. First, separate the 8 in period, starting from the decimal point. Second, find the largest perfect square less than 8 and write below 8. 4 is the largest perfect square number less than 8. Third, get the square root of 4 and write it above 8. The square root of 4 is 2, and we will write it above 8. Fourth, subtract 8 and 4. 8 minus 4 equals 4. Fifth, affix 2 zeros after the decimal point in 8. Bring this down. Do not forget to indicate the decimal point on the answer. It should be aligned with the decimal point of the radicand. 6. Double the quotient, which is 2. This means 2 times 2 equals 4. Write the product in line with 400. 7. Find a number and affix beside 4 to make a new number. Make sure that when you multiply the chosen number and the new form number, their product must be closer and less than 400. Let us choose 8. Affixing in line with 4 makes 48. When we multiply 8 by 48, it is 384. Notice that 384 is closer to 400 and it is less than to it. 8th step. Write 8 on the top right after the decimal point. Notice that when we divide 400 by 48, we will get 8. 9th step. Multiply 8 by 48, then write their product under 400. 8 times 48 equals 384. 10th step. Subtract 400 to 384. 400 minus 384 equals 16. 11th step. Affix 2 zeros beside the zeros and bring them down. 12th step. Double the quotient above. We have 28 times 2 equals 56 and write it in line with 1600. 13th step. Find a number and affix beside 56 to make a new number. Make sure that when we multiply the chosen number and the new number form, their product must be closer and less than 1600. Let us choose 2. Affixing beside 56 makes 562. When we multiply 562 by 2, it is 1124. Notice that 1124 is closer to 1600 and it is less than to it. 14th step. Write 2 on the top right after the 8. Notice that when we divide 1600 by 562, we will have 2. 15th step. Multiply 2 by 562, then write their product under 1600. 562 times 2 equals 1,124. 16th step, subtract 1,600 to 1,124. 1,600 minus 1,124 equals 476. Thus, the square root of 8 is approximately equal to 2 and 8200ths. To check the approximately, we will simply square it. Therefore, 2 and 8200 squared is 7 and 9,524 10,000s. Notice that the product is approximately equal to 8. Always remember that the square of the approximated value is not exactly equal to the radical, but it closer to. To get a closer value, continue the algorithm by affixing another 2 zeros and repeat the following steps. Did you get it? Amazing! It is truly amazing and fun with math. So, stay tuned. Fernandino Teens TV returns after a break.
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, pagtantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School NEST Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, Mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face, kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating NEST focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
We are back! Are you still with me, Fernandino teens? Are you enjoying our lesson? This time, let us have a game. You say fact if the statement is correct. Say bluff if it is wrong. Are you ready? You may type your answer in the comment box below. I will give you 10 seconds in every statement to answer. Let us start. For item number 1, 3 is a rational number. Fact or bluff? You are so intelligent. It is a fact. The next item. -5 is a rational number. Amazing. It is a fact. The third item is the square root of 2 is a rational number. You are so brilliant. It is a bluff. What made you say bluff? You are good in reasoning. The radicand is non-perfect square number. Let us have the fourth item. The estimated principal root of square root of 200 lies between 14 and 15. If your answer is fact, then you are right. The fifth item is the approximated value of the square root of 15 is 3 and 87 hundredths. Great! It is a fact. Item number 6. In a radical, when the radicand is not perfect square, its principal root is terminating and repeating decimal. Correct. The answer is bluff. If the radical is not perfect square, the principal root should be a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Next item. The estimated principal root of square root of 27 lies between 5 and 6. You are right. It is a fact. Number 8. The location of square root of 10 is between 9 and 16. Very good, Fernandino teens. The answer is bluff. Instead of 9 and 16, it should be between 3 and 4. Item number 9. The approximated value of the square root of 13 is 4 and 56 hundredths. Excellent. It is a bluff. The approximated value of the square root of 13 is 3 and 61 hundredths. The last item is the location of the square root of 3 is between 1 and 2. You got it. It is a fact. Have you enjoyed exploring number in real world? What have you realized? Yes. Numbers such as whole numbers, counting numbers, negative numbers or simply known as integers, fractions, repeating and terminating decimals are rational numbers which can be expressed in the form a over b, where b is not equal to 0. To summarize, whole numbers include the set of counting numbers and 0. Adding the negative numbers will form the set of integers. Include all the fractions, repeating, and terminating decimal form the set of rational numbers. In contrast to radicals with non-perfect square radicand, non-repeating, non-terminating decimals are irrational numbers wherein they cannot be expressed as a over b, where b is not equal to 0. Combining all the set of rational numbers and the set of irrational numbers form the set of real numbers. Did you enjoy our discussion in exploring numbers in real world? Terrific! Remember this. A man is a rational human being. He can think intelligently, know what is right and wrong. He is wise. Therefore, never estimate any human being for what he can do. Here are the references used in this presentation. Again, I am Sir Jayvee Morales, your virtual mathematics teacher. Thank you for watching Fernandino Teens TV Season 2.
Nice! Tama nga kayo, Nanat Dino. Hindi dapat ako malungkot kapag hindi ko nasusolve ang isang bagay. Dapat ay pagtiyagaan ko lang itong aralin upang makuha ko ang tamang sagot.
Tama, Fer. Ang dami nating natutuhan tungkol sa real numbers, gaya na lang ng approximating value of non-perfect squares at kung paano ito i-graph sa number line.
O ano, Fer? Ready ka na bang gawin at sagutan ang inyong modified assessment sa linggong ito sa math?
Siyempre naman, gagawin ko na ito dahil madali lang pala talaga ang pagsosolve. Ang galing talaga ni Sir Jayvee. Kaya naman,
Maraming salamat, Sir! Isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan ang ating natunghayan, Fernandino Teens.
samahan niyo ulit kami sa susunod na episode ng Fernandino
TV!
Season 2,
Na kung saan ang kabataang Fernandino ay angat sa angking talino.
Bagong umaga, yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri